have him show up 8 to 5 like anybody else and provide that service to Los Fresnos. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Abrego. And we'll go ahead and move on to consent agenda items. We have a total of 15, and we're going to go ahead and pull number 13. I don't know if there's any others that any of the council would like to pull, but we'll pull number 13. If not, if there's a motion to be made for the rest.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda without number 13.
I'll second.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Number 13. Go ahead and pull it out of my little packet here. It reads, consideration and action to approve a proclamation recognizing the 10th anniversary of the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley founding in 2015. Mark?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, as you can see in your packet, the proclamation, and we're recommending that be approved and then present it to, I believe we have a guest here that can speak on their behalf.
Great, I guess what we can do is take a motion and then we can have her come up and speak. And so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve consent agenda item number 13.
I'll second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Would you like to come up and say some words? And then we can present you?
Mayor Flores and City Commissioners, good afternoon and thank you. Thank you for adopting the proclamation recognizing the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley's 10th anniversary. It's been our great honor to serve our students from across the RGV. I'm Veronica de la Garza. I'm the Director of Governmental Relations for UTRGV. On behalf of our founding president, Dr. Guy Bailey, our Senior VP of Governmental and Community Relations, Veronica Gonzalez, and all of us at UTRGV, thank you for your service and support of our university. It's hard to believe that 10 years have passed, but what an amazing 10 years it's been. UTRGV stretches across the Rio Grande Valley, from South Padre Island to Rio Grande City. And we're proud to say our university has grown to serve over 34,000 students, and we've graduated over 60,000 students. As mentioned in the proclamation, in less than 10 years, we've added over 45 new degree programs at the bachelor's, graduate, doctoral, and professional levels. And let's not forget about football. On August 30th, the Vaqueros will make history as we kick off our first Division I season, a milestone for UTRGV and the entire valley. And Los Fresnos athletes are well represented at UTRGV. Los Fresnos J.G. Contreras is part of UTRGV's inaugural football team. Former Los Fresnos Falcons Victor Loa is part of UTRGV's baseball team, and he'll soon be joined by Los Fresnos baseball player Sebastian Barrera. The past decade has been filled with incredible milestones, and they've only been possible because of strong partnerships in our great community. Thank you for your continued support, your trust, and your friendship. V's up. Go Vaqueros. Thank you.
Jackie, do you have the...
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming and being with us in attendance today. To me, it's a highlight of the whole meeting. I know we have a budget for the city, but wanted to read this next action item that we got here, and it was something that I had asked Mark about, and Jackie, if they can put this on the agenda. The action item reads like this: consideration and action to approve a proclamation honoring Herm's Smokehouse for exemplary community service. Now, the reason why I thought that was exemplary is because if you haven't noticed this new business that we got in town, we recently, there was a flood in the hill country, and I was watching this young man gather up so many different people in the community, and he went in his own personal vehicle, his own trailer, his own time, went all the way up to the hill country, delivered goods and for the community, stuff that he could help with. And at that, I was already astonished that he was doing that, not to mention he started a business. So he's trying to make it in the business, and he's using his own personal money, and he's giving up some of his profits to give back. And when I first met him, the first thing he told me was, man, Mayor, I'm starting this business, and I just, when I go into it, I'm going to go into it with everything that I got. And I was like, okay, you know, most everybody business goes in with everything they got, but this young man really defines putting everything he got into it. So, you know, I was very impressed. And recently we had a tragedy in Los Fresnos with a student and two students. And he made that tragedy into a way to bring together what we represent in this city, which is community. We come together and we do what we can for each other. And he you know, he did so much, and not to mention barras, you know, exotic candy. I mean, I can go on and name every single person. There was a lot of people involved, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know that that young man took it upon himself to barbecue a lot of those brisket sandwiches, which if you didn't try, if I don't know if y'all tried them, but man, they were so good. You know, those brisket sandwiches were incredible. And not to mention they were under pressure to get those things out. And, you know, they ran out and they was coming out hot. And I think I saw the line wrap all around Whataburger. And that was a long line. I'd never seen the community come together. But it was a very difficult time. And, you know, we all know that. But I just, you know, I want to thank that young man from the bottom of my heart for everything that he did for this community and everything he will continue to do, because I know God has him there to do God's work. And so, you know, today, this action item is just to kind of praise and recognize the hard work of a business such as yours. And we look forward to all the great things that you're going to do in our city. You know, with that said, you know, we can make a motion, and then I would love for some of the council maybe to share some words or thoughts about this particular action item. So I don't know if there's an action to be made.
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation honoring Herm Smokehouse for the exemplary community service that they have.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion made and motion seconded by Commissioner Escobedo. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. And all those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Anybody would like to say a couple of words?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate you guys, but at the same time, I'd like to thank all the stuff that you've done. I've seen you grow from the grand opening day that you had, and up to right now, I've seen people know your name already, but I've seen you help a lot of people, not just a couple. I've seen you help out several, so I want to thank you from the bottom of our heart and say congratulations for this recognition.
Thank you very much. Any other?
Also, on the same token, I also want to thank you all, you know, for helping out, especially in this time of need. And it really, really means a lot to a lot of people. And we thank you from the bottom of our heart what you guys have done. It's the first time that we see something like this come together, and it's proud. You guys should be proud of what you did. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Daniel, his wife, entire team. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to say that I know you guys since way before. I remember the first time that I met you, and not only come together with the community with these tragedies that we had, but also to do good for the community. We have been great partners in the Rotary Club. You guys always support us, and we really appreciate. And we wish you all the good and success in your business. So thank you for everything that you do.
Would any of you two like to say a word?
I'd like to thank all of you for everything you've done for this community. You've done an outstanding job. I appreciate it. And I do recommend your food to anybody that asks me. Love it.
Well, likewise, I mean, I think everybody here has already expressed, and part of the city, we're really proud of what you have done over these last few years. I know I see a couple of former students and your staff likewise for the work that they have put in. It's not easy to do something as quick as you all did, especially for something so tragic that happened suddenly. Was remarkable, but the work that you guys have done throughout the last few years that you guys have opened here in Los Fresnos just takes talks about how much, you know, the character of Los Fresnos is, and that's something I'm happy to say and proud of, saying that, you know, it's a Los Fresnos born, Los Fresnos raised business, and it's something to be proud of. So that for that, you know, I thank you, I thank your staff. And I wish you the best of luck in the future as well, guys.
Thank you, thank you. Jackie, do you want to, we can come up here and present? If the Herms team would like to come up, and then what we'll do is take a quick picture with all the group. If you'd like to bring them up and the council as well, we're going to go ahead and present him with the proclamation, and I'll read it real quick.
And I forgot to mention, they make great videos. I don't know if you have followed them on social media. They do amazing videos as well.
So now that they're up, I'm going to go ahead and read this proclamation. So the proclamation reads such as this. This is a proclamation honoring Herm Smokehouse for exemplary community service. Whereas small business are the heart of our community, often serving not only as economic engines, but also as pillars of compassion, leadership, and unity. And whereas Herm Smokehouse, a valued local establishment in Los Fresnos, Texas, has gone above and beyond in demonstrating these values by organizing a heartfelt and impactful donation drive to support fellow Texans in Kerr County during a time of great need. And whereas over the course of just 3 days, Herm Smokehouse collected an exemplary amount of essential supplies, including bottled water, clothing, non-perishable food items, and toiletries, thanks to the generosity of the Los Fresnos community and the tireless effort of the business and its team. And whereas the donations gathered were so abundant that they filled not one, but 2 full trailers, a testament to the power of community action and the spirit of giving that defines our city. And whereas owner Daniel Avila, in reflecting on the efforts, stated that the core of being a Texan, being there for each other in times of most need, a sentiment that captures the very essence of what it means to be part of a great state and this great city. And whereas all donations collected by Herm Smokehouse were delivered directly to the Salvation Army in Kerr County, ensuring that those in need receive timely and meaningful support. And whereas the act of service not only uplifts those in a crisis, but also inspires others to act with kindness, courage, and generosity, reinforcing the value that makes Los Fresnos a community with opportunity, a place where individuals and business alike are empowered to make a difference. And whereas Herm Smokehouse has set a shining example of what it means to be a responsible and compassionate business, and their actions have brought pride and honor to the city of Los Fresnos. Now, therefore, we, the city of Los Fresnos, do hereby recognize and commend Herm Smokehouse and the owner, Daniel Avila, for their outstanding service, unwavering dedication, and exemplary leadership. These actions serve as a powerful reminder that even the smallest business can make the biggest impact when guided by heart and by purpose. In witness whereof, the proclamation is issued with a deep appreciation and admiration on this 12th day of August 2025 in the city of Los Fresnos, signed this 12th day of August 2005. And this is signed by us here at the mayor, and this will forever be recorded as a day of recognition for Herms. Thank you very much. The words? You want to say anything?
Sure. For us, it's always been more than barbecue. When my wife and I first joined this, I told her that we just needed a vessel to do more, right? Because I'm a nurse, and I mean, my job was only taking me so far, but it's something that you can't do alone. which is why I invited my team, but not only my team, but the community, as you mentioned, and Commissioner mentioned as well. It's just a reflection of Los Fresnos as a whole, as a community, because we're just a vessel, and we're the voice speaking for the residents that have come together, and that have supported us, from the city manager to the police department, yourself, the mayor. Everybody in this room actually has played a role in a direct or indirect manner, and we're extremely grateful for that, and we can let you know that you can continue to count on us for anything you need, all right? Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is for you. It's just a little bit of token of our appreciation. Now, council, you want to get together for a quick picture? Yeah, we'll go ahead and enjoy this moment. Come on in, guys. You want to settle it behind or side, wherever you like.
Hey, barbecue.
Thank you so much. 3, 2, 1. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. One more, please. 1, 2, 3, and one final one. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you very much, guys. We appreciate everything y'all do. Man, that was such a great moment there, and you guys are free to stay for the rest of the meeting or free to go. I know it's going to be a very lengthy meeting, so thank you again for everything, guys. We appreciate it. So I know we got a very busy meeting agenda and want to move forward with the action item number 2. Consideration and action to approve action taken by the Los Fresnos Community Development Corporation for service agreements for the 2025 Narciso Martinez Culture Arts Center Conjunto Festival. Mark or Mr. Nunez, thanks for being here, by the way. Good to see you.
Is this on? Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, audience, City Manager, City Attorney. Thank you very much for, again, welcoming us to Los Fresnos, to our 32nd annual, but our 7th year already in Los Fresnos with the Conjunto Festival. We're pretty much, the lineup is done. We're doing just the final, the magazine should be hopefully finished by the next week, turned in and ready by September 1, which has got all the all the people buying ads and stories and so on and so forth. I don't know if it rains, like when I was here with the CDC, if it rains, we know we can hold the event. It rained last year for the 2 days, but it'll just come into the covered area and continue the event. So looking forward to it. I mean, we've got great weather right now. If it can hold on to October 3rd and 4th. So we welcome everybody. We hope everybody can attend. It's a great event. We've got lots of music, some people coming out. We feature one of our groups that's coming from Tucson, Arizona, a young 15-year-old now. He just turned 15 last week. Elijah Ezequiel, the Conjunto Addicts, So, but anyway, we hope to have a good event. I think we will. And again, thank you for continuing to work with us. Any questions? Because I'm here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nunez. I know the event's always fun. There's a lot of great food. There's those hats, those hats coming from Washington.
Well,
Those are
actually,
always
he
fun.
just had a kid with his wife, and so he's not going to travel this year.
Okay,
I think about
okay.
3 months ago they had a kid.
Okay, well, definitely a great show, and there's a lot of people that show up. We love seeing the Los Fresnos High School Conjunto. That's
They'll be
always
there.
a treat.
They'll be there.
And so any questions or comments anybody would like to say, or is there a motion to be made?
Sir, just be able to work with y'all over the last few years. I know you all, we've hosted it at the Memorial Center, and every year I keep asking this, and I probably will continue to keep asking this, but I know we're overgrowing that canopy. I see hundreds of people arrive, and a lot of them are elderly. They do bring their lawn chairs. I personally have helped with the golf carts, driving them across the streets and stuff, which is a great pleasure for me because I get to talk to them. A lot of them coming from around the United States, which is amazing. But I would like to facilitate a little bit better this concert for you all. So is there any way that we can help you all in being able to move it from there to a bigger venue? I know we have the rodeo arena. I know you just mentioned about rain. I don't know how the partnership or now the Lions Club and the canopy of the FFA could be available. But I think if we, through the city, we figure something out, we can give the concert a bigger space and avenue to grow even more. I am appreciative that you all have brought it because it was in San Benito, and we've been able to work things out for you all, and we will continue to do it in the future without a doubt. But I do, my concerns come from being able to help these elderly people enjoy this concert better. So anything we can do, I'm here for it, so just don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, well, we definitely would, want to sit down and even talk about those things, but, I mean, that is, one thing, if you look at the demographics of our participants, there's no way of stopping the age. And one characteristic of the festival and other festivals of this nature, because they're popping up everywhere, is that it's not a younger population that attends that type of music, which is great music, but again, in terms of what our younger generation is listening to, if you brought in Frontera, you wouldn't have a place to even put them anywhere here, because they'll draw you 50,000 people. But I mean, it's something to look at. I mean, again, I'm willing to sit down and do the best we can, and I am concerned. I'm always going to be concerned because, it is a 55, 65, group, and it is a struggling group, and I've measured it in terms of people who used to come from Houston who no longer come, one, because they can't drive anymore, or two, because they moved on to another life, and so it is a challenge, but we're willing to sit down and see what best we can do to improve it and to make it better. I know that the walk and everybody's complimented the golf cart. As a matter of fact, we are looking for someone to do that work this year, but that does help a lot to bring the folks from the parking lot of the high school over to the Memorial Park. But yeah, anything we can do and sit down and kind of map out, what the next steps may be, I think we're willing to sit down, again. So thank you very much.
I know I would always be open up to ideas about how we can make the event bigger and better. And so maybe in the near future, we could definitely sit down, or Mark, or, we can partner up with the rodeo since they're here. Somebody, we can make this a bigger thing. But for now, it's working great. But he does bring up some valid concerns. So again, we want to thank you for being here, and we appreciate the relationship we have with Conjunto.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the board? If not, if there's a motion to be made?
I'll make a motion to approve action item 2.
Okay, motion made.
I second the motion.
And motion has been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Nunez, for being here today. We appreciate you. Okay, moving on to consideration and action to approve, this is number 3, a service agreement for the 2026 Cameron County Fair and Livestock Show. So do we have a representative here today? Yes, we do. Oh, hey, good to see you again, ma'am.
I was hiding in the back. Mr. Mayor, council members, my name is Valerie Arizmendi, and I represent the Cameron County Fair and Livestock Show. This will be year 21 for me, I think it is, that I've been leading the group over there in the Far Barns. Each year we continue to maintain our numbers. We had about 450 animal entries last year and about 100 home show entries. The exhibitors that have the grand champion and the reserve grand champions receive a buckle and a jacket from other sponsors. We look forward to the support of the city once again, because with your support, we support the kids with scholarships, and last year we supported over $10,000 in scholarships to those seniors that submitted a complete application. And for us, we're a very small number of kids that were seniors, so every senior that submitted an application received a scholarship from the Livestock Show, along with y'all's support. We continue to work with the rodeo, And we also signed a contract with the Carnival, Heart of America Carnival, and they will be back with us and the rodeo through 2031. So we have that contract signed already. So once again, I'm here for any questions. If you have any questions.
Any questions or comments from the board at this time? If not, if there's a motion to be made?
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to give these kids a chance for college. I know it gets expensive, and I know the rodeo committee is here, some of the members. From being a teacher, and I see firsthand how grateful they are, and when they get those calls from you all, it means a lot. And me being associated with the city council and helping associated with rodeo and helping out with everything we do in this town, sometimes I'm the first ones to get that joy from them, I guess, seeing them firsthand. I know you guys put on an event for them and stuff like that, but just being able to see them happy that they were able to receive something, and also the sacrifice that they put in, because it's not easy work. And especially showing, it's takes a lot of work and a lot of money, and the little bit that you guys give back is really tremendous for them. So thank you.
It does. 4-H and FFA kids are the hardest working kids that I know of, because they get up and they have to feed in the morning before they go to school, and then again in the afternoon, and then, let alone be in the show ring sometimes for a very long time. It's very, very hard work to be an exhibitor.
Late at night, because I do parking, I always make an effort to walk to the barn and see them, to just make sure they're okay. I know we have PD and everybody out there, but just seeing them laying out there with their calves or their sheep or their goats or their pigs, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it is.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Any other questions or comments from the board? If not, if there's a motion to be made.
I'm make a motion that we approve the services agreement between the, got the wrong one.
Okay, motion is made,
I'll second.
and motion has been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Raise your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
here today.
again very much.
Action item 4 reads, consideration and action to approve a service agreement for the September 2025 Cowboy Cook-Off.
Yeah. Actually, it's October 10th and 11th for the Cowboy Cook-Off.
Oh, okay. It's probably wrong
We
in
did
here.
make a change not too long ago, but first of all, I want to thank the city commissioners and the city of Los Fresnos for all the help that you've given us in previous years, and we'll look for that support again. We just opened up the registration for the cook-off, and within 24 hours, we had 6 teams sign up right away. So we're hoping to have a good turnout. Again, we like having our youth involved. We have the kids queue again this year, and then the high school teams also be competing. So looking forward to that, and thank you for all the support. Take any questions you have on the cook-off.
I just think it's a great time of year. I know every time this comes up, we start getting ready for all the holidays, and this is just like that event here in town where everybody likes to get together, kind of like the rodeo in February, So I know everybody comes together. We're all sampling the different barbecues out there, and then voting on the best. And
Yeah, that's the people's choice, and we'll be doing that again. Of course, we're going to have music and the car show, the
cars.
marketplace, and the pony
the
ride.
marketplace. Those awesome time of year, and we appreciate these events that you all are putting on, and we just look forward to another successful year. Is there anybody here in the council that would like to add anything or make a suggestion or recommendation? If not, if there's a motion to be made.
I'll make a motion to approve the service agreement for the October 10 and 11 Cowboy Cook-Off.
I second the one.
So motion is made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Thank you so much, Mr. Cantu, for being here today on that part. I don't know if you're going to be here on for the next one, but the next one reads consideration and action to approve a service agreement for the February 2026 Los Fresnos Rodeo.
Again, thank you for y'all's support. In the past years, we've been very fortunate that ever since COVID, we've had really record turnout crowds. We've had great participation from from all of our citizens and really the whole entire valley. But I'm proud to say that with the help of the cook-off and the rodeo, that we were able to give over $32,000 worth of scholarships to our students. So that was a big success for us, and we'll continue to do that. Also, we made a lot of improvements. We're working on our cantina, and we put in new lights. We put in LED lights now, so we don't have to worry about them shutting off and coming right back on. But anyway, thank you all so much, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you all.
Man, those lights are really bright. I see them every evening there, and man, they're really, really nice lights. Wish we had a bunch of those lights out here in these fields, but that's a whole nother conversation. Don't want to get into it. But no, we really enjoy the rodeo, and I know it's another great time of the year where people come together, and it's a big deal for Los Fresnos. This is our event. This is the one that we have, and we get visitors from everywhere, and so all the restaurants are going to get some business as well, or hotels, and so. Just a great event overall, and we look forward to continuing the support. Any of the council would like to make any questions, comments, any kind of motions? I see the amount down here. Anybody has any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve action item number 5.
Okay. Motion is made.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Congratulations, and we look forward to
On
seeing you.
behalf of the rodeo committee, thank you all.
Thank you, folks, for being here today. We appreciate you all. Okay, moving on to consent agenda item number 6. Consideration and action to approve funding for engineering services to prepare a plan and cost estimate for the use of the Old City landfill property as a park. Mark?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, we had brought that up couple of meetings ago, and finally was able to get with Hanson, and Paulina's here if there's any questions, to be able to get some actual plans, some actual numbers to it, and that agreement would be $5,000. I gave my comments. I don't know if you want to question anything in there. I think the location of it is not a good location for several reasons: street, water, sewer, lack of. The fact that we would have to raise it if it was to be a park, or if it was to be an industrial, like if we wanted to do an industrial type park. The same thing, we would need to add a lot of fill. You can always build in a flood area. You don't have to raise it. However, I can warn you that we would be the first ones that would be ridiculed and blamed for not doing it right if it flooded and something happened. Is why did you build it there? And so if we want to take this task on, I think we do it right, and we raise the ground out of the flood zone, which would be about 3.5 feet. But also probably need to, if it was an industrial park, try to buy some property from 1847 across. Would be expensive. We'd have to cross the railroad. But if it's going to be an industrial park, if it was going to be a play park, a sports park, or something like that, it might not need that. However, down that road still has to be vastly improved from what it is. So there's a lot of challenges to that. When you look at the size of our city, we have more parks and the acreage of parks than most cities our size, than what even the recommendation is. So I think that we're good at that. I do hear a lot, oh, we need more more Little League fields. That's really not what people are saying when they say it. They need practice areas, which Mary, you mentioned it about the lighting when they were talking. That's really what the needs are, is practice place, especially once the 1st of November hits until the time changes back in late February, early March, with it getting dark at 6. I can tell you that most cities, I don't know of other cities that provide practice space. They do not let practice happen on their playing fields.
Now, is that for liability marking purposes? or-
No, it's it ruins the field. When you practice, it's very much different than a game. You're practicing grounders, you're practicing 5 balls, you're doing that with a whole group, and so they're in one area. And so then all of a sudden you have that area worn out.
Yeah, sorry, I was just, we're actually talking about the actual fields that are set up already.
Right, that do have lights. And so we do allow it for practice games. People can use that every night for practice games because the game is not a repetitive motion time after time like practice is, and so it doesn't ruin it. Little League was at the CDC meeting last week, and there has been a lot of compliments on our fields throughout their All-Stars, which they pick ours to play. We're probably one of the best fields that's around the valley. So we do have Laurellis Park. It's not in our city. I understand that. However, all of our citizens pay county taxes, and 2.5 miles from our city limits, we have a park that's very large. It's got 2 baseball fields now that are not getting used. They're building a 3rd one. So when you add the 3 that we have, the 3 there's 6 fields. So spending that kind of money that would be millions of dollars to do a Little League park, another one, I don't think is good use of money. There is a need, has been a need for soccer. As you can see, Memorial Park is full of soccer goals. Love to see it. Almost, I don't think you can go in the evening without it just being packed. It's going to reduce a little bit when Laurellis gets finished and opened back up because they're doing soccer fields there and game fields there. So with the 2, we'll be set. Football area is a concern because we don't have that, although soccer areas can be used for football as well. So the biggest concern is lighting for practice areas. I can tell you that probably every city in the state of Texas has the same problem, and people just deal with it and make it work. So
Yeah, Mark, I know.
that's all my comments. You
I
can
know
see
we
'em.
talked about this plan and the estimated cost would be, like you said, in the millions. And we had talked about an alternative, and that alternative sounded better for what was going to be used: soccer, football, baseball, kickball, you name it, by the alternative measure.
Practice.
The practicing. I like that idea, and I don't know if the board shares the same sentiment as me, but I would like for us to maybe look at that option instead of spending millions of dollars. I mean, that's just my thing. That way we satisfy that. We can put that on another meeting agenda to discuss a little bit more in detail. But spending millions of dollars for a park, I know we want it, and I don't even know if there's any grant money out there to help with something like that.
Sure. Those are usually 50-50 matching grants through Parks and Wildlife. There's quite a few of them. They're competitive, but
So like a $2 million
That's how
park,
we-
yeah, we'd pay one.
that's how we did community park renovation. That's how the initial, Manuel probably was very involved in that. The initial Memorial Park was built with matching grant funds. Nature Park was utilized mostly grant funds. We were fortunate to have, that was a 90-10, I believe, on the initial. And then we took that 90% and utilized that as a match with Parks and Wildlife for another $400,000. So there's ways you can do that, just getting the first monies to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, I think I want to take the time also to thank you because you go detail to detail on this item. But also, I hear the mayor say about millions and millions of dollars. Right now, the purpose of this issue is because we want to find out what we can do and what we cannot do there. And the cost is not going to be $1 million. The cost is $5,000. I think that we donate money and I think that we have money to go through to find out what we can and cannot do. I think that $5,000 cost is not that much to find out whether we can use it or not use it. And that way we can just settle a case where it says, it's not going to be usable, we cannot use it. It came out that, the land is no good because of oil or water or whatever. But I mean, that's just all I ask the city council, if they can support me on that and go wasting the $5,000 and find out for final whether we can use it or not.
And that study would do that, would answer those questions.
Yeah.
Can you compare,
And not from me.
can we do like a cost comparison of both, just to kind of put it in front of the board formally about option one, option two?
Well, at that point, it'd be,
There's
yeah,
option two, is there?
no, for my aspect, I'm not making a motion yet, but the 5,000 just to see what's underground, first of all, whether it's safe, the level. I know I tried to go back and I looked at the files for the flood zoning, because I know that is a concern somewhere back there. So I know we are talking about somewhere between 2.5 to, at some points, almost 4 feet down, that we would have to raise in some of those areas to at least make it to the road grade level. And so I know there are some areas that that do need help in terms of filling, or mostly that area. Some of it can be relieved by doing a pond retention, something or other, by digging out and creating a small pond. But obviously, we do have issues with practice fields. Rodeo is paving, or not paving, but putting caliche on most of its property where kids used to practice. So a lot of that option is getting taken away from teams, and they're trying to find areas. I know the high school or the school district has the fields behind, or on the north side of the football fields, that they use as well. Even if it's practice or for the moment, just to see if it's feasible or not. I also, at the same time, industrial park, at least we know we would get money, some form of money back. I don't know how many acres exactly is out there, Mark, if you can, 30, 42? Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, 40 acres, let's just see what we can do, or if that option is to develop it ourselves or sell it, or whatever the case may be.
Could we sell it?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not. It's an old landfill.
I mean, if you guys want to spend $5,000 to see if this was a project, I mean, I guess $5,000 is still money, but if that will help you determine, what the total advantage is of doing it, then I don't see $5,000 as a big issue.
As far as the engineering or whatever we're paying for, what is it that they're gonna do for us exactly?
Do you want to address that, Paulina?
Hi, good evening. Paulina Vega from Hanson Professional Services for the record. So I think the proposal that we turned in was for a preliminary layout to see where we could fit a couple of playing fields, a baseball field, and I believe a soccer field, restrooms, parking lot, and then come up with a cost estimate of what it would actually take to bring the infrastructure to the site, right? So it's going to have to be widening the road, Nogal Street, to come down and extending water and sewer services so that it can be serviced. And also looking at, how much fill you're going to need in order to come out of that flood zone. And if there's any other constraints that the city would have to take into consideration to develop that property.
A quick question, ma'am. If the city decides to do just practice fields, you mentioned, and it's been mentioned here, sewer lines or water lines, I don't know, electrical would be needed. But by state law, or what are we, what's needed from the city in order to call, for us to be able to have that practice field there?
Well, I don't think that it's a requirement, from a state, but if you're going to have people out there, there's literally nowhere for them to use restrooms or to get water for drinking if they're practicing out there. So it's more of a, convenience that you'll be providing for them to be out there.
Thank you, ma'am.
I mean,
So-
I can see the need, right? What questions do you have? Sorry.
Yeah, I can see some of the need for this, but I think that having, for example, the practice fields is good. I'm thinking more of a solution for you as the city manager. What can we use that building for instead of just going to, okay, we're gonna do this Little League practice fields or stuff like that. What I would like to do, or what I would like to see is more of what can we do with that property as far as the city? I mean, it's gonna cost us a lot of money to do practice fields. Well, maybe it's not good enough to spend that, but maybe, hey, we're gonna put some money where we can develop an industrial area, or we can, have some other projects. I think that's where we should invest money to figure out, is this property even worth even for us to look at it anymore? Or should it be something that you as a city manager gets the information to know, okay, in this place, well, if right now we don't have any funding, maybe we can put some lights out there and some temporary restrooms or whatever while the Little League is going. But then, hey, I got I don't know, SpaceX comes in, so wants to build something like that. Well, we have this property that you can do that. You know what I'm saying? This is basically what I really want to know.
Councilman, I think we're all on the same page. I mean, it's Los Fresnos doesn't have a lot of land, especially through it's owned by the city. It's unique to be able to just have this position. So I agree. Let's take advantage. Now, my question would be to Ms. Hanson and Mr. Mark, city managers, that's a lot of things we're asking for. So I'm assuming that would be more than the $5,000 if they're going to make plans see what options for an industrial park or anything else that's included in that, right? Because they're just giving us for the practice facility that costs of $5,000. I think this is something that we need to discuss over the next few months and probably not be done. Right now, we could approve the $5,000 just for this and maybe discuss a potential of seeing plans for an industrial park or something else and that Hanson can work on in the future.
If I may, I would recommend the $5,000. Let's find out what part of the land we can use, what part of the land can we not use. Let's understand it's a dump. There's a lot of restrictions on construction and anything on that property, whether you fill it or not. A lot of removal. So we need to break down exactly what part of that property and how much of that property we can actually use for anything. We may not be able to use but 5 or 6 acres.
So if we do this one, then we want to come back later and say, well, another 5,000 for the other thing, then we can do that for 10,000, but at least this gets the ball rolling. It gets us to get what we're looking for, and then we can kind of take it from there.
Okay, I believe
Thank you, ma'am.
Councilman made the motion already. Was that correct, Mr.
Who made the
Benson?
motion?
Yes, I make a motion. We do the $5,000 to get this done.
Okay.
I second the motion.
All right, motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All righty, moving on. Consideration and action to approve,
Can I ask a
oh,
question?
Mark, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Clarification maybe for Paulina too. As
Excuse me, Jeff.
as the proposal was presented on using it as a park area, I mean, it'll still tell you where you can build and not if you change that later to an industrial area, right? I mean, you'll still have that information.
Right.
Great.
Okay, I want to be clear. I didn't,
Yeah, because that way we can see the land out and
Okay.
everything, yeah. Okay.
Cool.
We're all under agreement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. All righty, guys, we still got another couple more to go. So, action item number 7 reads, consideration and action to approve closing city offices at 12 p.m. on December 31st for an employee end-of-the-year celebration. Mark?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, those that went last year, I think most of you were there, at least for a portion. It was very good. Something that we don't do enough of is recognizing our employees and giving them something. And I think it was much better than a Christmas deal. We have some people that don't celebrate that, so the end of the year is perfect, and everybody was very engaged and very involved, so we'd like to do that for the second year.
It was great. It was great to see all the employees come together, from the city office to the folks that work outdoors and everybody. So it was a great team building event, and there was a lot of fun games, and love to see that continue, and it just builds for better friendship. So
And it's not only that, it's, that sometimes you give a little present to somebody, and that person means a lot to them, and then we appreciate every employee who works for the city of Los Fresnos as well as, across the board, so.
awesome. Any other questions or comments, or is there a motion to be made on the celebration event?
I make a motion to approve the, item number 7.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Discussion and review of applications received for upcoming vacancies and current members in the following boards and positions. Planning and Zoning Commission, Place 5, Henry Bebon. Place 6, Larry Mead. Place 7, Javier Rodriguez. Park Advisory Board, Place 4, Norma Cruz. Place 5, Robert Garza. Housing and Authority Board, Place 1, Belinda Garza. Place 2, Claudia Rocha. And Place 3, Linda Ramirez. Mark?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, on the planning and zoning, those individuals are willing to continue to serve. All the ones that are serving now and all the boards do a very good job and are very committed in their attendance and what they each bring to the board. So on the planning and zoning, they're willing to continue serving if you have them. The Park Advisory Board, we do have Place 5 will be available, so we would need a person to fill that position. Norma Cruz is willing to continue to serve. And then the Housing Authority Board, Place 1 and 2 are willing to continue to serve. Place 3 is not, but the Housing Authority has already sent us one of the residents, I believe, for a replacement there. So
we're just
they're
looking.
all willing to serve except the Park Advisory Board, and then now we have a replacement for the housing. So, but that's for next meeting. But y'all have asked to bring it up, so you have a month to think on it, and it's well known in the public.
What were those again? Park Advisory Board, Place 5, and what was the other one?
And Place 3 in the Housing Authority Board, but we've already have been given a.
Okay, so we have an interest. Okay, and planning and zoning, we're good with all three? They all want to continue?
They're willing to continue to serve.
Okay, thank you. All right, board, if there's just for you guys to have it on the back of your minds. It looks like we have Park Advisory Board, Place 5, and potentially, or not potentially, Place 3 on Housing and Authority. But again, everybody else will be coming up in the next meeting. So with that said, I know this is not for a motion to be made, so it's just discussion. Any questions or comments before we move on? Anybody want to address anything? No? Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and move on. No action taken. Number 9 reads, consideration and action to approve the renewal contract for our city attorney, Enrique Juarez. Mark?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, as you can see, it's the same rate. As you know, we talked about that before. Henry does a very good job of keeping that rate low for us. Most cities have a huge budget for attorney. We're fortunate we don't have to do that. The agreement's the same as it was last time. It just changes some wording. Says that you can still give a 30-day notice and you can terminate at any time with cause. He doesn't do something that you feel is a good cause, well then it can be terminated there. Otherwise, it's all the same that we had prior.
So in that one, it's not just a question, it's, on that one, like it says on the rules and regulations, that he's a full-time attorney, will that fall within the same contract or is different?
He's not a full-time attorney.
Yes, for example, on the charter, it says that any attorney that works for the city is a full-time attorney. So, like him, we have him in a contract. Is that correct?
Yes, he's in
Yes.
the contract.
Okay. So let's say, I don't think that I'm trying to fire him or anything. I'm just saying, so we decide to let go Mr. Enrique Juarez. If we vote across the board, means he's out, or we have to go to follow the city's charter that we cannot fire him because he's a full-time? Because in the charter it says that.
The contract reads with good cause.
Oh, okay.
I think what he's trying to say is, does he get the same rights of a full-time employee as far as the processes are concerned? Does he get
No,
treated?
he's a contracted employee.
Okay, so that answers that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments, or is there a motion to be made?
I'll make a motion to approve item number 9.
Motion made,
I second the motion.
and motion has been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to action item 10, consideration and action to acknowledge the finance director's certificate for the estimated ad valorem tax collection rate for 2025 and the excess debt tax collections for 2025 tax year. Mark?
One of the state requirements is that we announce that. The collection rate thus far of the year is 93.8%. That is low. If you remember, we've usually been around 95 or higher. County is the one that collects our taxes. They don't see anything in particular, probably as a result of the economy to some extent. Don't think it's not lower than what other cities normally have. We usually have an abnormally high. And also the excess debt is zero, and it's really not applicable. So that's the report for their certification.
Thank you for that, Mark. Is there any additional questions from the board or an action to be made?
I'll make a motion to approve action number 10.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Consideration and action to acknowledge the Cameron Appraisal District Chief Appraiser's certification of the 2025 tax roll. Mark?
Cameron Appraisal District provides us those numbers, and as you can see, that number is $569,493,755. That's an increase of $53,796,145, or 11.37%. There's $249,591 under protest, so it's not very many items under protest. Most of that's dealt with already. Property values with clear properties, not just ones that didn't exist last year. That increase alone was $20,087,885. So that's the numbers that we have to give you to acknowledge that you've received those numbers.
Interesting. So Praise Valley's went up in total,
Yes.
right? And that doesn't include like new residents or businesses that got built and it was worth less and then now it's worth a lot more. That was 20
Includes
million.
both of those.
Okay.
The
All right.
ones that you did nothing and they increased your value, the ones that was not in the city or not a lot was subdivided and now on the roll, and then the ones, of course, are built on.
So it went up quite a bit though. What does it normally go up on a year? Do you know, more or less? Or is that on average?
Lately, it's been around 10 or.
Okay, because it
Yeah,
seems a
7 to
little high.
10, 11.
Okay. Okay, well, I mean, there's nothing really we can do but acknowledge it. So any questions or comments about the tax roll? If not, there's a motion to be made. Okay, motion made.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Escobedo. All those in favor signify by saying aye, or raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. Consideration and action to acknowledge the calculations of the city's no new revenue and voter approval tax rate for tax year 2025 and for fiscal year 2025-2026. Mark?
Two rates, state law requires us to give. No new revenue, in other words, if we tax people the same amount, even though their valuations went up, we would get the same exact money. And our tax rate today is 68.5. The no new revenue would be 68.1809. So just about 4 thousandths of a percent. So it's pretty close, about the closest I've seen in a long time. So it's pretty flat as far as when you take exact properties that are developed to exact properties developed. So that number, no new revenue tax is 68.1809. And then the voter approval tax rate, in other words, you could decide to go up in property taxes to 1.175114 per 100 valuation before it would trigger a rollback or an automatic election. Not a rollback, that was the old days. So now it's automatic election. You'd have to go over 1.17, which we're not remotely considering. So those two numbers are the numbers you need to know about.
Thank you very much for that, Mark. I know it's not something we have much say on, other than acknowledging it. Is there any questions or comments? If not, a motion to be made.
Make a motion to approve item number 12.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye and raise your hand. Aye. All those who oppose to the same. Motion carries. Consideration and action to propose a tax rate for tax year 2025. Take a record vote. If proposed tax rate exceeds the lower of the no new revenue or voter approval, and set dates for public hearings if necessary. Mark?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, once again, we're proposing a tax rate of 0.685, which is what it's been, I think, 2 years now. Before that was 695, and then the year before, for 2 years, was 71.5. So 685 is our proposal. That's what we've based the budget that we'll be working on over the next few weeks on, is 0.685, leaving it the same rate as what it is today.
Anybody? As far as that tax drop that we did a few years ago and where it's at now, are we good with the budget? Everything, you think everything is, will we ever get to a point where we have to raise that, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I can't answer that question. I mean,
Nice
it
answer,
depends
sir.
on your needs and wants and our community's needs and wants. The more things that they want
The park?
and need
For the park.
and demand.
Yeah. Well, demand, yeah.
We've always lived within our means to not raise it since I've been here. So I would like to hope that we would continue to do that. People demand more things that cost more money, well then,
Yes, sir, I
it has
understand
to
that.
come somewhere.
Any questions or comments from the board about this? If there's a motion to be made?
I'll make a motion to approve item number 13.
Okay, motion made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries.
Before we move on, also it's required is to, for each one to have a roll call vote that says yes, agree with the 68.5, or no, I don't.
Okay, we'll start on that side.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, on the .685.
Yes on the .685.
Yes, on .685.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, at this time will be acknowledgement of city managers' reports. Mark, is there anything you want to update us on, the Veterans Memorial?
Yes, I do. Veterans Memorial, we're basically done, and we'll be working on a date in the future to have a nice event to recognize our veterans and to show them what we have. Hope that you've noticed the little change that we did with the flags. That was the last kind of touch that I think that besides the audio, the flags is something that no other veteran memorial place has that I'm aware of. So a couple things that like that I think sets us apart from others. So we'll be getting with you on a date, and there was a tentative thought from the CDC board. They funded half of it, so is the weekend before Veterans Day. Not to do it on Veterans Day because there's so many committed things that people already go to year after year after year, is maybe that Saturday before. So we're looking to see if the partners that we'll have maybe could do that date. If we can, it would be a Saturday morning, say 9 o'clock, 9:30, somewhere on that time before it gets too warm, or that time of year in November. Hopefully we don't have a cold front, but you could always have that. Maybe we need to wait till 10 or 11 to get a little warmer, but anyway.
Yeah, November 11th falls on a Tuesday, which is the day of our meeting.
Correct.
So, the prior Saturday or something like that. I don't know, just
That's
give
what
some ideas. Yeah.
they're looking at. We'll get with you more information. The last thing that I have, besides any questions you might have, is legislative update. You might notice that there is no department head reports this month. We didn't forget them. We're starting a process. The state legislature, for some unknown reason, changed posting requirements for meetings. For the longest time, it's been 72 hours prior to the meeting. So our meeting today, it starts at Tuesday at 6 p.m. It would have to be posted by Saturday at 6 p.m. Of course, we always do it on Friday because of the work day. Now, the new state law beginning September 1 is 3 work days. And the day of the meeting doesn't count. So today, like, let's look at the one that we just were at. The day of the meeting doesn't count, so Tuesday doesn't count, so Monday does. The weekends do not count. So Friday counts and Thursday counts, so Wednesday at 5, we have to post it by then. If there happens to be a holiday on that Thursday or Friday or Monday, well, then it moves another day. And if it's 2 holidays, it moves 2 days. So I don't understand
Who comes up with
why
that? Who comes up with that?
they
you
did
know?
that, but the complication happens when our meetings are 8th, 9th, and 10th. To have the reports done from all our department heads in is just, there's no way to do that because we'll have those meetings 8th, 9th, and 10th. We have to post it 5 days before, so they're barely closing out their month, so your department head reports from now on will come 1 month behind. So when you have September, you will see July's. And it's just because we can't get them to you in time to get them to meet that agenda. So in October, you'll see August. It'll still be the same reports, it'll just be
A month or two behind.
one month behind.
1 month behind.
Not because we're wanting to do it. I would love for it to be the other way, 72 hours, but
Just
that's not
can't,
under
it's
our
too
control.
complicated. Okay.
And that's all I have unless y'all have, but I wanted to explain that so everyone knows.
Okay. Any other questions or comments, or is there a motion to acknowledge the reports?
Make a notion, we accept the city manager's reports.
Okay, motion made
I second the motion.
and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye. All those who oppose do the same. Motion carries. At this time, we have a closed session, deliberation pursuant to section 551071, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act regarding the following: consultation with attorney on pending or contemplated litigation regarding the annexation of the city's ETJ and the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, and that was 551.074. Reassignment duties, discipline, and dismissal of city managers, chief of police, public works director, librarian, financial director, and city secretary. All right, so the time is now 7:17. We'll go ahead and break out to closed session. Okay, the time is 7:49. Open session pursuant to section 551071, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, Texas Open Meetings Act, deliberation and possible action regarding the following: consultation with attorney on pending and contemplated litigation regarding the annexation of the city's ETJ. We're taking no action. Open session pursuant to section 551074, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, deliberation and possible action regarding the following: the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of city manager, chief of police, public works director, librarian, finance director, or city secretary. No action taken. At this time, we'll proceed to our workshop, our budget workshop fiscal year 2025-2026. And then I'll let Mark start that as soon as he gets his time.
I need to stand, so. As been our practice for years, is the first budget workshop, we go over revenues for general fund, revenues for water sewer, then real quick CDC, our debt service, and our TERS fund. And so we'll do that because most of that it is what it is, and so it's a little bit easier. And then next week next Tuesday at 6 p.m. it'll be department heads giving each one like we always do. On your first page there, it's their general fund, and just to kind of remind everybody, we have the identification on the left-hand side of the page of what it is we're talking about. The first column of numbers is 23-24 budget year, which was last year. And then we have two columns of 24-25, which is this year. We have budget and then projected what we think it's going to end up at. And then the last column on the far right is what we're projecting or we're proposing the budget to be. So the first part is just a summary of revenues and then a summary of expenditures. As you can see, we're projecting and we're proposing total revenues of $6,803,454. That's also the expenditures. In city government, we do a zero-based budget, and so we don't keep any money. We use it all to good. Fortunately, because of our budgeting practices, we usually have left over at the end of the year to put it in a project of your wishing at that time. I'll go into the different categories. Under operational revenue, about a third of the way down, you can see that first highlighted, current property tax. You can see last year was 1.8 million. We proposed 1.3. We're going to see 1.8, and you might ask, why is the difference? We'll see that in a minute when we look at debt. It's the way Texas Water Development Board wants us to take all of our funds, instead of having them in the general fund and then move out, they want it in the debt fund, and so that's why the change. So if you can see from last year, the way we did it to this next year, it's 1.879 last year, and this year is going to be 1.882. So it's relatively flat over those years. So that's what we're projecting. You can see some other categories with the discounts and the delinquent taxes we get. We do think that it might be a little higher. We didn't project any more just because of that 93.8% collection rate this year. We feel like that we'll get a little bit better than 50, but if we do, it'll be a blessing and something that maybe we can use for a project that we've been waiting on. City sales tax, you can see last year 1.866777. We projected 1.976. We're not going to hit that. We're only going to hit about 1.9 million. As you can see, that puts it pretty well flat. We're about a 2 or 3% increase is all. We're projecting 1.9 this next year. Just we don't know what economy's doing. It's still showing up. The last month was, I believe, 3% that we just got in. So we're still showing up for the year, but not the big, huge numbers we saw before. Garbage fees, you can see there was a big increase from last year at 125 to this year at 236, and we're projecting about 231. That was due to our increase that we did, which we'll still have to do on commercial, but not the residential, because we did the residential and then now we won't have to touch that for several years. Municipal court fines and fees. Last year was 875. We project about 800 this year, and I'm budgeting 750. You might ask why less? I don't want municipal court revenue ever to be a target that we have to reach or get. I want it to be low, and then if we reach higher, so be it. If we don't reach it, it's not something that our budget hinges on. I hope that makes sense. I'm very sensitive about that because I don't want us to be known any longer of a place that just hands out tickets. I think we've proven ourselves that we're not. Getting rid of that stigma is hard. Some people just say it because that's the thing to say, but I think that you'll see that we're really not those people any longer. So that's that number. The ones following it are all set by the state. We don't set those numbers, so we base those numbers off of the first number. So we project those to be about steady. The next group of items is grants. The first one highlighted is OSG, which is Operation Stone Garden. It pays overtime for salaries of officers. We're getting a grant for $75,025 for that. You'll notice the next one, Border Star Zero, that's gone away. That's why we're getting more and more with Operation Stone Garden. The next one is reimbursement DSRIP Community Health. That's the $60,000 that comes for the community health program. Think that it'll be the same. Then reimbursement LRGVDC, $40,000. That's for the senior citizens program. Both of those programs are subject to federal funding. There's no secret in the media. There's things happening with those federal funds. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to affect either one of those programs. We're building some things in the budget to where if they went totally away, we would be okay. I'll show you those next week. But we're building things into the budget to where I don't care. I wanted funding, and we want to get all the funding we can, but we're going to support those programs, the senior citizen program and the community health program regardless. I think they add to our community over and beyond any dollar amount that those two cost us. Any questions there? I know that sometimes might be a political hot potato, but we'll continue to fund them. Service contract, Los Fresnos CISD, that'll stay about the same, $26,860, and that's for radios. They use the jail sometimes. They use the shooting range, and so they use officers sometimes at graduations or football games, and so that helps pay that out of there. So if you see them there, maybe they're directing traffic and that's on us, but if they're actually in the event, that's usually the school reimbursing us through that those funds. The next page, on page 2, that first section is just a series of franchise fees that are set mainly through the state of Texas for using the right-of-ways, using the airways. And we get about $450,000 out of that. So those are good numbers. Very steady. The only one, I guess, is not a right-of-way fee is the very first one, hotel motel tax, which is right at $17,000. The next section of revenues, you see the shooting range. I get questions from you and people about the shooting range. We get about $34,000, and that's from mainly Border Patrol. Border Patrol really is the only one uses us and the school. The thing is that we get that and we can keep the berms backfilled, we can keep upgrading, keep doing things, and then it doesn't cost us to have one. About halfway down the page, they're all the same until you get to interest earned, and we're projecting probably a little down just because interest rates they have gone down a little bit. We think they're going to go down more from where they were. So the 126 that we earned last year, we probably won't. We're not going to get it this year, and if they continue to go down, we'll get less. I think that's good. I think that'll help our sales tax on the other end. So I'm not necessarily opposed to that. License and permits. You can see that last year at 184,000. We're going to get right about 210 this year, and I'm conservatively saying 200. It'll probably be more than that. That's for the permits, for inspections. Doing very, very well. Lots of development, lots of things continue to happen there, and so that's the people paying for those fees. The rest of them down there is not. They're all remain about the same until you get to reimbursement from fire department EMS. I did want to make a mention of that. Through TML, we were able to insure the fire and the EMS because they considered them a part of the city. Through the year, I don't remember what happened, but they said, well, they're not part of the city. We go, no, they're separate entity in and of themselves. Well, TML said we cannot insure them. And so they actually canceled that insurance, and fire and EMS had to go get their own. So there'll be no reimbursement, but there'll be no expense either. They are looking at what additional cost that will be to them because it will be an additional cost. TML is a city-owned, city co-op, and so we get insurance cheaper than what you can get it on the open market. So their expenses are going to go up. Probably next week you'll hear something that with their contract to move it up a little bit to help them compensate for that. That's of course your choice to do that, but that would be the reason, not just because they're coming asking for more funding. They were part of a 3-year contract that you approved last year. But because part of that contract says that they'll get insurance through us and we'll reimburse, we no longer can meet that, so we have to work a new one. So you'll see that next week. And that's all revenue. 6.8 million. Any questions on that? Pretty standard. There's not a lot we can do. The next page is actually page 9. I'm just giving you the ones that we're dealing with today. This is the utility fund, and by your rates that you've approved before, the water revenue last year was $1,326,581. It's going to be right at $1,360,000. We're projecting to be $1,500,000 due to the increased rates that were approved. That covers the debt. If you'll recall, that covers the debt that of the new loans we're getting for both water, well, right now just sewer. Water will be later. The sewer revenue for a city, 1.152 last year, 1.2 million this year, and we're projecting 1,310,000 next year. Same with Indian Lake goes up a little bit, East Rio Hondo goes up a little bit when you factor in those rate increases. So you see water revenues of $1,714,600. Sewer revenue, $1,786,000. Total budget in revenue for the utility account will be $3,500,600. Any questions on revenue? The others are taps, and if you kind of look in there, there's some high years, but taps aren't guaranteed. So we put those low because if taps come in, that means that we have to get water meters and those things to put them in. So we don't put them in the revenue part or the expense part. We bring that in later during the year if those increase. And they usually do because of the development. The next page in your packet is page 13, and it's the Community Development Corporation. That board approved their budget last Monday. As you can see, sales tax, it's again 622 last year. We're projecting 650, and just like our general fund and sales tax, we're keeping it steady at 650. Interest a little bit less, so total revenue that they have is $663,000. The first line item is salaries, and we've hired a individual, Jeffrey's doing a fantastic job, and so that's his salary, and then the benefits. If you drop down below there to attorney, we do put a little bit of funds there in case there's a need. We've never had the use for attorney. We don't get into a lot of big legal documents and those things, so it's not needed. Professional services was what Desi was paid out of, so that goes away to zero, as you can see. The next item I have highlighted is city promotion and advertising. That's 10% of the sales tax, so $650,000. So those two together are $65,000. That's what helps funds some Conjunto Festival things, the Christmas in the park, the Halloween, the Independence Day celebration, those city promotion, those help fund that, as well as Earth Day event comes out of there that they fund. Park improvements, you can see that we've got it budgeted for $120,000 this year. It's good to know. You will be very happy. The first item is $10,000 for fans at the pavilion at Memorial Park. Any of you that's been there during any event will be grateful of that. I think Jackie's got prices, and we're wanting to have that ready to say October 1. Please go put them up so they're there for Halloween. Of course, Halloween may be 30 degrees, but it's hot more times than it's not. So we'll have those fans, and it'll be very good. We'll also have $50,000 set aside for LED lights for the Little League ball field park lights. The poles are good. The electrical is good. We'll take the lights and just move the old ones that are sodium vapor and hard to get parts, and we had a very hard time getting them this past year, and they're now as expensive as an LED light. So hopefully that $50,000 will take care of both fields there, and it'll be great for our ball fields. They also set aside $60,000 for Little League for 2 school boards. If you've seen the school boards at the Little League Park, it's time. I think they were put in 2008, if I recall, somewhere around there, maybe 2007. So they're very old, and they have to take pieces out of one and make the other work, and then they're using the other field, and they take them out of there and put them over there. So it'll be very good to have those 2 new school boards. And the other thing that if you've got a kid in the program, you'll be thankful for is shades over the bleachers. Very, very much needed, and you will get pats on the back. So for the CDC doing that. It's very hot in the summer there, so there will be bleacher shades. That leaves special projects, and that's just money that they set aside in case a business or we need to pave something, we need to bring electricity that's to an area that's not there, or oversized electricity or gas or something that needs to be provided to a business to make them be successful and help them in whatever they're doing. Business incentive program that's continued to be
I have
funded.
a question.
Yes.
As far as the CDC went and authorized the concession stand thing that we approved on the earlier consent items, is that to cover the full amount of the build-out of that concession stand?
Yes.
Or funds for to be built later?
It covers it all.
All right.
Good question. That was for, I didn't mention it because it's this year's budget. And hopefully they'll be starting soon, and it'll be done for the end of this calendar year.
Yeah, because I've had several people
Yeah.
question me about that already, so that's why I was asking.
Good question, yes, because it was off on one side of the park in a little building, and they're still going to utilize that, but have a main concession stand, so it'll be really nice. The business incentive program, that's for the signs, the storefront improvements, landscaping improvements to help beautify our community. That program has been very, very successful. Probably $2 million over the course of 15 years that they've been running that program, or 12 years. So it's very, very good help, and it does 50%. So have to have a buy-in from the business, but really makes it affordable for that business and helps them. Transferred debt service, INS, $178,000. I wanted to specifically mention that. That's $25,000 that for the life of the loan, for the upgrade that we did on the sewer plant, Evergreen Street, water and wastewater, all in that area, that helped really change that whole area. And as it continues to change, that money very well spent. So they continue to put $25,000. I think it's another several years for that. And then they put $95,000 in another water project, and $25,000 in another sewer project, and then $33,000 in a sewer project that was just approved. So those total together $178,000 that they're paying in debt. And what that does is helps the general fund not have to pay as much, and also helps water rates not have to pay as much. So I do want to mention that as you see those CDC board members, let them know that's appreciated, because all of that helps offset cost to our residents and also our business community. So that's pretty cool. And that's it for CDC. They still have a healthy fund balance, so they're ready for any emergencies, anything that might come up. So they're in very good shape. The next page, I won't spend a lot of it, as page 14 is basically the revenues and expenditures. We have 1.724548, $1,724,548 in revenue coming in from property tax and CDC and TERS. All comes into that account, and then it all goes out to pay debt. So based on a zero-based budget, if you can see, actual last year we had 80,000 in reserve, and this year it looks like we're going to have 188. So we will have some funds to where next year we might not have to have so much. We can utilize those funds for something else. It's just the way we budget. We budget conservatively so that we always have a little extra, instead of me coming to you and saying, I don't know what happened. We're in a hole. I don't want to ever be in a hole, so we haven't been yet and don't look to. I did want to highlight, you might see the yellow about halfway down that first section is bond payments transferred from other funds. $326,068 last year, $567,000 this year, and $554,484. That is the TERS debt payment. And so that's still active and still going on, even though we haven't had a new project. It looks like we're going to be able to have about $4 to $5 million. And so after we finish our budget, I want us to focus on how do we utilize that to also take care of county, because some of it's county funds, but do projects. I look for some street projects that we need to finish them up. Maybe 5th Street that has never been finished here, and 1st Street that's never been finished. If I could make those two things happen, that would be tremendous. And then the other piece is a sewer line that's from about from where your folks' place was there on Canal, on all the way in front of Lopez Riggins. All those lots up against the canal, they don't have sewer, and so nobody can build there. And I would love to be able to get a sewer line in there as part of that money, because we'll immediately have homes in there if we can get that done. So just things that are on the horizon. We have the money, and you go, well, how do we pay for it? Well, it's already paid for. The TERS funds is going to pay for that. So we're very fortunate in the situation that we'll be having $4 to $5 million to do that for. Any other questions on debt? The last page is the TERS budget. Kind of mentioned that already. We will get in about $1,187,174 this year. We will only pay out $555,484 because that's what the debt payment is. And then I believe there's one more year left on that last project we have. So as you can see from there, we're going to have about 600 left this year and have about 600 and something left next year. So we'll have funds that we won't have to go borrow. We can utilize those funds for engineering to get the thing started real quick before we do the big project and whatever is decided to do. So that's good news. I did want to point out the city revenue versus county revenue. It's about 1/3 to 2/3. City revenue, $763,000 this next year, and county will be about $423,000. So their participation in that TERS has been very good, great partner. So as you see those county officials, hey, thanks. We're able to continue to do things with that. So that's all I have on the TERS, and that's all I have on those items. Next Tuesday will be department heads.
Thank you, Mark.
Unless there's any questions.
Any questions? Time is 8:17.